Hey everyone, welcome back to Off the Cuff Reviews. My name is Alex, and today I have a special new video. We're going to be talking about the new 1975 record, Being Funny in a Foreign Language. Let's get into it. So I wanted to come on here and start a new series where I talk in length about full albums, and I wanted to actually review them, and I wanted to sit down and listen to albums and actually talk about them with you guys because I feel like that's a really special thing. And I wanted to open up a dialogue and talk about records with you guys, which I feel like is really special. So with that said, this is going to be my first full album review, and we're going to be talking about Being Funny in a Foreign Language by the 1975. I feel like this album is a step in the right direction compared to their last two albums, Notes on a Conditional Form and A Brief Inquiry. I didn't like those albums. Now, I thought some tracks on A Brief Inquiry had the right vibe, but as a whole, the album truly missed the mark for me. Notes on a Conditional Form just kept the band sliding in the wrong direction, but I feel like they found steadier footing with Being Funny in a Foreign Language. So Jack Antonoff comes on to this record as a producer, and I was a little weary about that because I'm not a huge fan of Jack Antonoff's style, but I feel like he brings a fresh perspective for this band compared to their other records, and it definitely shows. It seems like they put a lot more effort into this record than the last two. I felt like they were going down a path of self-destruction with the last two records where they were putting out really lazy material. This, even though at times I feel like can be lazy, this album definitely delivers on some of those aspects that we love from I Like It When You Sleep and they're self-titled. So this album starts off in a very expected way. There's a great instrumental for their title track, 1975. There's a great instrumental behind the lyrics, but I feel like the lyrics of this record, or of this track at least, definitely miss the mark. And I almost cringed so hard I almost didn't want to listen to the rest of the album because I thought after hearing part of the band and then hearing this, I know I enjoyed Happiness. I just feel like this song, it missed the mark for me. There's too much narcissistic traits coming through in the lyrics where Matty Healy is just talking about himself and in really derogatory ways that are clearly meant only for 14-year-old girls to go, oh, I can't believe he said that on a record, but it's really, in my opinion, just really dragging and taking away from their music ability, where he's just talking about things that I don't even want to talk about in this video or it'll be demonetized. I just feel like he brings those elements into these records and it just takes away from what they could really be doing here. But then after that, it gets right into Happiness, which is one of my favorite tracks on the record. I feel like sonically, this is great. It has great transitions in between the chorus, and the verses are definitely more down to earth, and you can really feel some great 1975 vibes with this song. This is a true 1975 song. It has everything that you would love from the band, and this is one that I feel like people are going to come back to and say that this is one of the best songs on the record. I thought track 3 had the same vibe as Happiness going on, but I felt, even though the instrumentals were great, I felt like this was still lacking in some of the lyrical ability of the band. Then it goes right into Part of the Band, and that is one of those songs I hate from this record. I just don't really understand what they were doing with this at all. It just feels like sometimes Matty Healy can't get out of his own way when writing lyrics, and I'm not sure why that is. I understand that when you're writing songs, you kind of come from your own perspective on things, but it feels like he just throws things in there to make young girls gasp when they hear it. But it's for a grown man to be listening to these things, or a grown woman, or anyone to be listening to this, that's an adult, they're going to be like, bro, can you just get over yourself for real. But then we dive into more tracks like I'm in Love with You, which I kind of like it. It's catchy, even though it can get annoying at times because it's just repetitive. I feel like it has a really nice flair to it, and it feels like they kind of brought in some Phoebe Bridgers vibes to it. If you want to hear more about my thoughts on that, I did a full reaction to that song, and I felt like from that song to the end of the record, they did a great job at pretty much keeping up the pace. There was a few songs that I felt like were filler songs, even though they condensed this record, it still felt like some of the tracks were filler tracks. It goes all the way to the last track, which is a more folky side of the band, which I'm not like a huge fan of, but I definitely liked the like I said, Phoebe Bridgers vibes to it. It definitely has like a melodic undertones that kind of throw it back to her songs, and I definitely like that about it, but I'm just not a huge fan of the folky sound, but I know that people definitely will be, and that's totally cool because I think the song overall is great. I felt like the song All I Need to Hear is definitely a slower track, and it definitely comes off as more sincere than some of the other tracks on the record, and I love that. I want to get back to the 1975 from I Like It When You Sleep When. It really felt like, even though they were giving us like those 90s pop rock band vibes, they were really coming through with the sincerity in the lyrical ability, and even sonically it felt more sincere, and I felt like that was a little bit of a return to form for their sincere side. Overall, I like this record. I don't think it's amazing. I don't think it's their best record, but it's definitely a step in the right direction for the band. It's definitely like they're finding some steadier footing here, because the last two records were just going off the deep end in the wrong way. Like, they need to really get back to what they were doing back in their first couple records, which I feel like this record definitely captures those sounds, and I feel like that's what we need from this band. They know how to write a great song, sonically, lyrically, instrumentally, everything. They know how to deliver. So I want them to focus on that, focus on these tracks that really hit home for a lot of the viewers, give us that like nostalgic mindset that we want when we're listening to the 1975. We want to return to these songs and know that these were great songs, but we're not going to return if it's going to be something like Notes on a Conditional Form, which was all over the place and messy. Even though some of the tracks on this record are all over the place and messy, I feel like they definitely found their groove here, and they just need to stick with it. So there you have it. That is my album review for the newest record from the 1975 called Being Funny in a Foreign Language. Let me know what you guys thought about this. Let me know if you guys want more album reviews, but I hope you guys stick around because I want to talk to you guys about this in the comments down below. I want to talk to you guys. What did you guys like about this record? What didn't you like? What do you guys like about my review? What don't you like? I'm not really gonna be doing like ratings because I kind of stopped doing that when I was making movie reviews. So I'm gonna continue just to kind of give you guys a perspective of what I thought about the record overall and what I think of the band overall, or the artist for these album reviews going forward, but I'm not going to really give you guys ratings. Let me know what you guys think of that down below, and I will see you guys on the flip side. Thanks for tuning in, and stay safe, everybody. I'll see you again.